EcoEat, eating green made easy.
So I'm here today to talk about the problem. The problem being that making use of the ingredients you have on hand, the ingredients you have in your fridge, we all know what we're talking about. That mustard that's been in the back of our fridge, or we made tiramisu a while ago and we had a little bit of mascarpone and like who knows what to do with it. So this is a quote from one of our user interviews. It's so hard to find recipes that don't require me to go out and buy a ton of ingredients, and I don't want to waste what I already have. I know this is an experience we can all relate with because I know that I can definitely relate with this. I buy stuff all the time. Maybe I'm making ingredients or tacos, and then I just have a little bit left, and I don't know what to do with it. And I feel bad if it goes to waste because I spent so much time and energy going to the grocery store, bringing it back, or maybe I want to make something. I'm missing just one ingredient, and it's just a hassle all around. And here's an example of a user story. So you go to a store, you buy produce, and you buy XYZ for making stuff. And then you reach home after a long day, or I guess we're not really reaching home anymore. We're staying at home, we're finishing work after a long day, but you're tired and you realize, darn it, I'm missing that one ingredient. I'm missing that one extra thing, missing lime juice, for example. Or maybe you're like, I have all this stuff and I don't know what to make with it. So you get tired, you order takeout, and the produce that's left in your fridge expires. And what are you going to do? And this is a really big problem, and it leads to 76 billion pounds. 76 billion pounds is the amount of food that's wasted by US households each year. That's a really big number, and this is a problem that needs to be solved, and we can help the environment so much if we solve it. So let's talk about our solution.
And EcoEat is exactly the solution for you. EcoEat enables you to reduce food waste while also getting custom recipe recommendations. All you have to do is add the ingredients that you have on hand to your virtual pantry and instantly get recommendations. And bookmark it to easily find it again. By using up what you already have on hand, you can reduce food waste, you can save the time that you would have spent grocery shopping, and you can reduce carbon emissions associated with transportation. Some recipes even have a little green leaf tag to indicate that the recipe is a vegan or vegetarian option. The meat industry is a major contributor to the production of greenhouse gases, and a more plant-based diet will significantly reduce your carbon footprint, helping you live a more eco-friendly lifestyle.
So now let's do our live prototype demo.
Yeah. So we developed our lo-fi in Adobe XD and our hi-fi in, or our lo-fi in Figma and our hi-fi in Adobe XD. When the user first logs into sees our app, they have to go into the registration where they put in their name, their email, and their password. Once their account is created, they can go put in their email and password where they'll be taken onto onboarding. Welcome to EcoEat. It's a solution for you to reduce food waste in your household while also getting to explore recipes catered to your needs. They can click through onboarding, where the next tab is going to say, currently US households waste around 76 billion pounds of food per year, as Genevieve mentioned, but with EcoEats, we'll provide you with recipes that use only the ingredients you only have at hand, saving you both time and money, as Sam mentioned. Want to refine your search more? No problem. We have this green leaf tag. EcoEats provides you with tags to allow you to easily view if the recipe is vegan or vegetarian. Consuming a vegan or vegetarian diet significantly reduces your carbon footprint. Simply add your current ingredients to your virtual pantry, and we'll provide you with recipes using those ingredients. You can swipe to delete an ingredient, search for more ingredients, or see your profile page or more tabs. So once you log into the app, this is going to be your recipes tab. If you click on a recipe, you can see the ingredients, instructions on how to make it, and when you go back, let's say you want to find a new recipe, you can see your pantries tab, which has all your current ingredients, and if you click the search, you can add another ingredient. This would show that it's added. And finally, this is our account page for your profile. This concludes the prototype demo of our app.
Awesome. So now I want to go in and talk about our business model canvas. So the first thing is the value propositions. For us, we felt like the most important thing was to emphasize the environmental focus, especially in regards to other recipe and other food apps. For us, green is both the purpose and the outcome, which means basically that people could come in with environmental, eco-friendly initiatives in mind, or they could come in just to get recipes. Either way, the outcome is that most of the users are more likely to consume sustainable vegetarian, vegan recipes. Also, we feel like our app is a lot more convenient than a lot of existing platforms because it is a mobile app, and we programmed it in React Native so that it's accessible to everybody regardless of what kind of phone you have. You could use it on Android or iOS. And finally, of course, it recommends you recipes based on your available ingredients, hence reducing food waste. So in terms of key resources, the biggest resource we had was the Spoontacular API, which is where we get all of the recipes, and they have specific calls where you input your ingredients that you have listed, and it will return a series of JSON recipes that we had to parse through. In terms of channels and partners, we think the best way to market this app is through existing social media platforms, as well as using influencers who are specifically based in sustainability or fitness or food and diets, to market it to them and have them spread it to their users. In terms of customer segments, we really feel like this app could benefit anybody and everybody who cooks or wants home-cooked meals, because it's really just a recipe app, but we think it would be especially beneficial to environmental advocates who are trying to eat more sustainably, or people who have no cooking background and just need to find easily accessible recipes. For customer relationships, we think our onboarding process that Leah already went through is one of the best ways to explain our value propositions and this environmental focus of our app. In terms of key activities, obviously, reducing food waste is our primary goal with this app. And then finally, to just touch on cost structure and revenue stream, like I said before, we want our app to be accessible, so we wouldn't make the app itself cost anything. However, the one thing we would have to consider is if we want to pay for more API calls with Spoontacular, because right now we're on the free plan, which has a limited number of calls, but in order to access more calls, we would institute a premium plan for subscribers, which just has a lot more new features, unlimited calls, unlimited searches, and yeah. So now I'll go into so this is the opening page of our app. And so from here you can see that you can sign up as a new user. Leah kind of already went through what that sign up process looks like in the hi-fi. It'll just take you to onboarding. So I'm gonna go ahead and sign in as an existing user we have. And it'll ask for your username and your password, which is a 6-digit password. And then all you have to do is press login, and it'll take you immediately to your pantry. So this user already has 2 ingredients in their pantry. So you can go ahead and just search any ingredient that you have. So let's say I want to add like kiwis. Oop, that's not how you spell kiwi. So you can go ahead and search kiwis, and whenever you search an ingredient, it will pop up with a list of results. And then from there, you can just tap it. And if you've added something, and let's say you're out of sugar now, you can just swipe it and delete that item, and it will automatically update on the back end. And then you can press find. Whoa, sorry, my Wi-Fi is being a little, I'm the one with the weird Wi-Fi. But then you can just press find recipes here, and then you can see that your ingredients still persist because we keep it in the Firebase backend. And then going back to the homepage, it'll have a bunch of recipes for you to look at. So these ones have some really yummy looking tarts. So if you click on one, you can find all of the ingredients, the serving time, the prep time, the cost per serving, as well as obviously the instructions are a pretty important part. And then at the top right hand corner, you can see this little green leaf icon, which indicates that it is sustainable or vegan or vegetarian. Obviously this recipe has no meat in it, which makes it vegetarian, which is why it has the leaf tag. And then the last thing I want to point out on this page is the green bookmark icon right here. And this just allows you to save it. So I've tapped it, and that means I've saved it to my collection. So now if I go back to the home page, there's a little tab up here called Saved, and you can see all of your saved recipes, and you can save any recipes and they'll all save to your account. And then the last page I want to point out is the profile page, where it has your name and your email. And then there's also this little information icon where you can see a little tutorial that was shown in the onboarding in case you're confused about any of the aspects of our app. You can go ahead and close that. And then down here in this green outline box is a milestone tracker. So it counts how many sustainable recipes you've saved and equates that to approximately the number of gallons of water it saved, just so the users are more aware of the environmental impact they're having. And if you are curious about that statistic, you can tap this little question mark and it'll show a statistic about the meat production to water usage. And then finally, the last thing, obviously, users can all log out and log in, sign up as new users too. All right, that marks the end of our presentation. Thank you all so much for listening. Special shout out to Swarthy, our mentor. We couldn't have done this project without her, as well as everyone on the Dandelion team. And now we're happy to answer any questions you might have about our project.